a tricky question, to be honest, because I wouldn't assume I was a role model. Mm-hmm. But it's quite nice to have people, you know, if people start in the industry and they go, you know, I was watching you as I grew up, because that's exactly what happened to me. I was watching people that I now see at events or work with, and I grew up watching them. So, I mean, I'm not against the idea of being someone's role model. I'm not certain I am someone's role model.
Because sometimes you just end up being one and you don't realize it until they tell you, and you're like, oh, you know.
Yeah, and then suddenly you feel responsible for a load of young people.
Yeah.
And that's an enormous pressure, I think. Like, I when I was younger, and people used to talk about me being a role model, I found that really hard to come to terms with. Mm-hmm. And actually I felt like I could never get anything wrong. Because it would be, you know, at best a mistake, at worst harmful to, you know, aspiring, like kids who are aspiring to be like you. So I don't know. I'm sort of torn on that, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I like to do my work and not feel responsible for other people's children.
Yeah, right on.
I'm responsible for 3 of my own. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is South Africa. Cardiff, where we film a certain show that we're not going to talk about, because I absolutely love Cardiff. But South Africa, because I filmed a certain show there that I'm not allowed to talk about. It was amazing.
I'm trying to think where I've worked professionally. To be honest, I'm a big sucker for staying home.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, especially since I've had kids, that's sort of like, if it's in London, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm your gal. I don't think I've worked anywhere particularly hot, which is a shame. But also, I don't know that I want to work in heat.
Mm-hmm. I worked in 40 degrees with a leather jacket. It was amazing.
You loved it.
I loved it so much. They're like, do you want to take your leather jacket off? I was like, why? I do that. I'm the total opposite to Billie. Like, I'll get a brief and it says, like, filming somewhere random. I'm like, I cannot believe I'm moving to New York next week. I've not even got the job.
So here's a question.
Oh, actually, New York.
New York?
Yeah.
Everybody loves New York. You can't really go wrong with it.
Yeah, it's like a dream come true.
And you can find something to do in New York, right? I mean, there's always something.
Well, it feels familiar because it feels like London, so it's not like a massive cultural leap. But it's completely its own thing, and it's operating at a pace that's really thrilling.
Just not when it's cold. I am going to go to the year 3000 and see if we live underwater.
Is that a Busted lyric? I'd go back. I always say this. I'd go back to when I was younger, probably, and watch my parents raising me and make some adjustments. Yeah. When you're on your Amazon account and it keeps defaulting to a card that you don't have anymore. It really pisses me off. And you're like, I should delete that, and you never do. Just get the thing you want.
Of all the things in the world.
It's a stupid, superficial answer.
Mine would be middle lane hoggers on the motorway.
That's me.
Oh, no, that's really... Why do you not move over? I don't get it.
I don't know, like, sometimes it's just nice.
What?
Yeah.
I am literally like, they don't know how to use a motorway, they need to move over, and I've got to be the person to teach them how to use the motorway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I said earlier, I can't remember what the answer was earlier, singer, but I don't really mean that. What I really would do is I'd be a florist. I just love...
A florist?
Yeah, I just...
Me too!
Together.
Florist/bookshop.
I would have coffee. Can we have ice cream? I really want to give people ice cream.
Yeah.
I always say that when I'm like at my wit's end with acting. I'm just going to go and open that florist.
They just
on
make
the
me so
cliff edge.
happy.
Me too. And I love flower arranging.
Oh, I just love them so much.
Yeah.
And I look at them, I'm like, you're just so cute. I love you so much. Oh, just love them. Not rather than. I'd do anything at the minute. When the time's right. No, I would love to do theatre. I was saying yesterday in another panel that I think the best job that I've done is, I did a play on the West End last year, 222, and it was just so...
Did you do that?
Yeah,
Oh,
with Tom
that's
Felton.
so scary.
I used to be so scared of ghosts until I did that. Now I'm brave. No, I just loved it so much. I loved, every day was different. Like one time I cut my finger off. Well, I didn't because I've still got it, but nearly. Like one time I spilled paint everywhere. Sometimes I forgot the lines. I just felt so alive. And it's definitely the best job I've done as a, work-wise, but not personally-wise, but I got so much from it. I had the most amazing time. I would definitely love a career that goes between the two. Yeah. Like we're between TV, film, and theatre. I'd be so lucky / happy if that was the case. Yeah, I just love it.
Because some folks think that doing the theater in between that makes them sharp all the time for when they bounce back and forth between the medias.
Because when you do screen work, there's a lot of on and offs, isn't it? You start acting and then like not even a minute later, it stops. So it's really hard to really get into a place. But when you're doing theatre, particularly the show that I did, I was able to build up. You build up over the course of 4 months, but within the show, you're really going for it, and you can peak and stuff and go up and down and just map the whole journey. But I find when you do screen work, it's very stoppy-starty, and not always the case because you haven't got to where you need to get, but because there's a technical fall or the scenes are only short or something just stops it. It's a very, very different skill, and I can understand why they say in between TV, because I love TV. It's just so fast and fun. I love watching it back as well. But I can totally see why they say sharpen it up in between.
Yeah, it's really good for you as an actor to do theatre, I think. It just makes you a much better, more well-rounded and actually confident actor.
You've done amazing stuff.
Yeah, I love it, but... yeah, I don't know. I feel the last thing I did was really, I loved so much. And it's quite hard to know where to go from that for me. But also it's not the best for my kids. Yeah. Because you're out of the house at the weekends all the time, and it's just a bit, and no bedtimes and, all the stuff that I like.
For me, being able to work full stop, I would say to myself, I've been really successful because I've been able to work. I don't think I'd base it on external factors and things I've achieved and awards and stuff. I think it's just being able to work in an industry that is so tough.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the idea of success has changed for me over the years. I think when I was younger, it would mean being the best and, working insane hours to try and get there, and that would amount to success. And I feel like that was quite young and possibly misjudged, although I think like culturally there's too much pressure on being successful. And as you say, like success can mean any number of things. It can be, the smallest things like getting to the end of the day without having a row with your kid. That is success to me now. But yeah, I also second that thing of being in the industry, working with people that you admire, all of that feels like success. It doesn't have to be like Beyonce heights for success to be real, But I don't think the world says that enough. I think there's you have to sacrifice everything to be where you need to be, and that's meaningful. I don't agree. I would like to be able to be invisible, obviously, because it's like the best thing to like spy on people. But also I'd love the ability to speak every language.
Yeah.
I tried to get in somewhere because Sam Smith was in there and I wanted to go in that little bit. And I was a bit like, me and my friend at the time on a different show was like, do you not know who we are? And he was like, no. I was like, yeah, that's fine then.
Due to Dragon Con press agreements, we can only publish up to 10 minutes of panel footage. To see the full panel, you can visit dragoncon.tv and purchase a streaming membership for $10. This will give you access to many of the Dragon Con panels and events from the current year and past conventions. And stay tuned for more highlight videos on Fandom Spotlight.
Hi, this is Michael Shanks, and you're watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. The fate of the universe may depend on it. Oh, and have fun and follow your fandom.